Hey guys, Andy here, and today we have a video inspired by Monica Adriana. I will leave her tagged in the description box down below. This is ChatGPT Chooses My Makeup. That is an AI chat bot of sorts, if you don't know what that is. And I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't really heard about it, but Monica did this video and it was so interesting, so different, and so fun to watch. Basically, you go in and you can ask the chatbot anything. You can talk to them about anything. But I went in and I will post the little screenshot here of the question that I asked. And I just put in that I'm panning the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette and to give me some looks from that palette. And it generated 4 different looks for me, this being look number 1. So I wanted to go ahead and film me doing all of those looks. And yeah, that is all this video is. I will save all of my thoughts. I talk about a whole bunch of things throughout the whole video, but this is look number 1. So if you want to know, everything that I'm wearing for every look will be listed in the description box. I have it all written down. If you want to see this kind of video again with different palettes, please let me know in the comments, because this was so much fun. I would love to do this again. It's like a palette bingo, but being able to do it by yourself because you asked an AI to give you randomness. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the 4 looks. So this is the first look. This is the only look that I'm not going to be doing with you guys. I ended up doing my makeup with a friend, but I am going to walk you through what I did. The verbal steps that I will be giving you, they're written right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and read them off. So it said to take a matte light beige or cream shade. So I took the shade Bare and mixed it with just a tiny bit of play to give it a little bit of color all over the entire lid. And this is for the look Soft Glam, in case I didn't preface that. Then it says to take a medium toned matte in the crease, either a warm taupe or a dusty pink. Obviously, I decided to go the pink route, so I took the shade Tickle and put it all over the crease. Next, we went ahead and used a deeper matte on the outer corner and blend it just slightly into the crease, which you could either use a deeper brown or a burgundy. Obviously, since I'm going the pink route, I did burgundy, so I took the shade Spanked, did my outer corner into my crease a little bit here, and then apply a shimmery pink or rose gold on the center of the lid. Since we're doing pink, I did a shimmery pink, which is the shade Daydream here, all over the lid. And then it says to finish up with a highlighter on the inner corner and brow bone. Actually, I did not put it on my brow bone, but this is the Natasha Denona Love Cheek Duo highlighter. I have that on my inner corner, but I do not have it on my brow bone. So let me find a pretty good brush. It's going to be able to, that one should be able to pick it up nicely. Whoop. But that is everything for the look. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the brow bone. I don't normally highlight on the brow bone, so that is why I forgot that step. Ooh. I would definitely do that again. That's a step I don't normally do, but I think that looks very nice. It almost looks like it continues our inner corner highlight. I will say with this look, I don't like that I'm not wearing mascara. It specifically says in this look no mascara, no liner, no nothing. And the reason why I say that is because in every other look you will see coming next, it tells you when to coat with mascara, when to put on liner. So the fact that this one doesn't say any mascara or anything, I'm not wearing any. I do think because of it not wearing any mascara, the look does look very light and fresh. It just feels weird to have a full face done and then not wear any mascara whatsoever. It also feels weird to have no eyeshadow on my lower lash line. Hate that. But spoiler to the looks coming up, at least I got to put an inner corner highlight on for this look. Because in some of the other looks I didn't. And I hated that. Because this is actually the last look I'm filming. I filmed them very out of order. I did look number 1 last. Just how it happened. But I think this turned out beautiful. I think all of the looks turned out beautiful, actually. I loved this. But I also didn't love putting a matte shade all over my entire lid. That's just not something I do. But the looks all turned out beautiful, so maybe it's something I will have to be trying more from here on out. But we're just going to go ahead and move on into look number 2. Alright, so this is going to be look number 2, and this is a romantic smoky eye. And again, I did the best I could with the instructions I was given, which again will be right here listed for you guys to follow along. Here is what the palette is looking like so far. And spoiler to look number 4, we did hit a new pan in the shade Secret, but we're just going to go ahead and get started. This will be the look that we are recreating. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with my NYX Ultimate Shadow Primer, which I am almost out of, sadly. I've really enjoyed this primer. So I just put that all over the lid. I already did my brows. Base is done. All of that's always, for all of my looks, I will try to list it down below, but I don't know if I will remember everything that's on my face for each look. But here, and this is look number 4. Okay. But it should be in the description box. Anywho, we're going to start. It says to apply a matte mauve all over the entire lid. So I'm going to go into the shade Tickle and do just that, like I've said. Normally, when I would apply a shade like this, I would just apply it to my crease, but it wants me to apply it to the entire lid space, which is weird. Once I'm done with this video, that is not something I will be adopting. Also, it's weird to not have an inner corner highlight. I think the other 2 looks that I'm doing, inner corner... The other 2 looks have an inner corner highlight, but this look and look number 4 don't, and I hate that so much. Like, it doesn't even say, like, use a matte shade as an inner corner highlight. Like, it's just no inner corner. Which I hate, because I like using a very nice inner corner shade. I did really need some more use on this shade Tickle, so this is kind of nice. What have you guys thought about this video so far? I know this is kind of a longer one, but I did want to do the whole 4 looks and have you guys see me do them all in real time. If you want to see me do this video again, like, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, do you not want to see the tutorials? Do you just want to see, like, pictures of the looks? Are there any specific palettes you want to see me do this again with? Like, I would love any feedback you have on this because I've really enjoyed it. Next, it says to use a matte plum in the outer corner and in the crease. So I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Love Bite and do just that. And I am going to mix at the very end just a tiny bit of the shade Spanked, just so it's not so stark. Oh, why am I going to reach for a separate mirror when the palette has a mirror? What am I doing with myself? So there's that, and then we're getting really good dips on the shade Spanked and Love Bite, so that makes me happy. I'm really hoping that by doing this video, I can hit maybe one more pan. I'm filming these out of order, so I filmed look number 4 first, then I'm filming this one number 2, and I don't know which one I'm going to do next. But I have very much been enjoying it. So that's what we're going to do with that. Then it says, use a matte brown shade along the upper and lower lash line for intensity. So for that, since there is really no matte brown, this is what I did for look number 4 to get a matte brown, is I'm going to mix the shade Raw with the shade Tease, Love Bite, and Teddy. So 4 dips into the shade Raw, 1 dip into the shade Tease, half a dip into the shade Love Bite, 2 dips into the shade Teddy, makes a beautiful brown. Because color theory. We're gonna just smoke that out on the lower lash line. I really need to work on the shade Teddy too. Especially now that I have a pan in Secret, because Secret and Teddy were so similar. Now I can really start working on that. Then it says, smudge the lower lash line with the matte mauve and plum shades. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Tickle and Love Bite and also apply that to the lower lash line just to darken it a little bit. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of the shade Bare just to blend out the inner corner, since we're not doing anything in the inner corner. Since you don't even see the shade, it doesn't pop up as like a white highlight or anything. It's basically my skin tone. And it widens our pan in that shade, so it works. Now for the lid, it says apply a shimmery pink or bronze shade on the center of the lid. I chose to go with a pink look. So I'm going to use the shade Daydream all over the center of the lid. Which I do love the shimmers in this palette, except for the shade Kinky. I wish instead of the shade Kinky, we got another marbled shade, because the shade Kinky is pretty useless in my opinion, but it is what it is. The only thing I don't like about these marble shades, because they are absolutely beautiful, I just hate how hard pressed they are. Like, you really have to get your finger in there. But other than that, like, they're great shades. Then it says, apply black eyeliner and coat lashes with mascara. So I'm going in, this is the Trestique Smudgy Eye Pencil in Santorini Black Sand. And it didn't say how to do the eyeliner, so I'm putting it in my waterline and on my upper excuse me, I have the hiccups. I'm putting it on my waterline and my upper lash line to mirror this side. And then for lashes, for my mascara, I'm doing the Give Them Lala Beauty Mascara. That's the one that I have open. So I'm going to do that off camera because I can't talk while doing that anyway. I will pick a lip and I will be back to show you the finished look. All right, and this is the finished look here. I'm going to go ahead and take my hair out. I put on the Morphe and Jeffree Star lipstick in the shade Leo. Yellow to blondness. I need to dye my hair so badly, but this is how the look turned out. I ended up stabbing myself in the eye with mascara, so that was a beautiful time, but I definitely like how this look turned out better than look number 4, personally. I think this one's just more my speed. It looks more like how I normally do my makeup than look number 4. But overall, I think it turned out great. Let me know what you guys think. We will be moving on right into look number 3 next. Thanks. All right, so this is look number 3, and it's the Peachy Glow look. This will be the look that we're recreating. It's pretty simple, but as always, I'm going to start with my NYX Ultimate Primer, which I have in the shade Light, if I haven't said that in my other looks that you've seen. I actually get to use an inner corner highlight today, unlike the last look. So that makes me happy because I feel like a look is not complete without an inner corner highlight. So we are going to start with a all matte peach shade all over the lid. So I'm going to go into the shade Play, and I'm going to put that all over the lid. Of course, all of the written what the look is going to be will be here, so you can follow along if you'd like. If you have the palette, if you'd like to recreate the look, all of those things. Again, I never take a matte shade all over the lid. I know I've said this in every single look, but it's weird for me. Because I reserve my lid space, because I have hooded eyes. That's what it boils down to, is that I reserve my lid space for shimmers or liner. So putting matte eyeshadow, like unless I was doing an all matte look, putting a matte all over my lid just feels wrong. To be fair, this is a very light peachy shade, so I don't know how well you're seeing that. This look is pretty soft, but I like it compared to the other looks, the other sultry looks we've done. I'm just really building it to try to really get that peach to come through. I'm so close to hitting pan in that shade too. Next, we are going to take a matte warm brown shade in the crease for depth. So I'm just going to mix Teddy and Secret because I just want to expand this pan a little bit. So I'm mostly going into Teddy, but just a tiny bit of Secret. And we're just going to put that in the crease for depth. And that'll be it for matte shades. No lower lash line today, which again is also weird because I feel like I always put eyeshadow on my lower lash line. My look feels incomplete without it. But like, this is just goes to show you, like, there's no wrong way to do makeup. Next, it says to take a shimmery peach or gold shade on the center of the lid. So I'm going to go in with the shade Fantasy all over the lid, and I'm going to try to top the very center of it with Crave. So this is what Fantasy looks like. It's more pink, than peach, but here's a swatch of it. Like, it swatches very peachy, but on the eyes, it looks a lot more pink, and it honestly doesn't have that much shimmer. Which is why I'm going to take a little bit of Crave, which that is what Crave looks like. I'm just going to top over it just a little bit. And then it says to take a pop of shimmer on the inner corner using a champagne or light gold. So I'm going to take the shade Crave again, and I'm just going to put that in my inner corner. Okay, and then it says finish look with mascara and a peachy blush. As you can see, I already did a peachy blush because I do my base first. So then I'm just going to go in with mascara, which this is my Give Them La La mascara. And I'm going to do my best to not stab myself in the eye today. I love this mascara because it goes on really, really nicely, and it's really easy to come off at the end of the night, but I really need it to dry out a little bit. As of right now, because it's still a brand new mascara, it's a very wet formula, and I don't personally like that, but in another like 2 weeks or so, once it's been open for a little bit, this will probably be like the perfect mascara. And I'm just putting like the lightest touch on the bottom lashes. For some definition. Okay. And then for lips, I already have it out, so I don't even have to pause. I'm going to use my new Lifter Gloss. This is in the shade Sweetheart. Still smells like vanilla. I figured this was nice and peachy. Very pretty. Where am I gonna put that? Put that there. Oh, we got some mascara smudging. And see, like, that's what I mean by it being a pretty wet formula. Because, like, it transfers so easily. There we go. But that's the finished look. Let me just... Ah, my ring! All I have to do now is setting spray and we are done, but that is how the look turned out. I do think it's very peachy. That is for look number 3. I hope you guys liked it. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the final look. Alright guys, so this is the look that we're going to be recreating on this eye, and I did it on this one because you'll be able to see this eye better, but this is look number 4, which is called Classic Nude. So I'm going to start with my NYX primer, which I'm almost out of. I can barely squeeze any more left. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish out all 4 looks, because I'm actually doing this look first, even though it's look number 4, because this look goes best with this shirt. But this is the look. But my only complaint with this whole ChatGPT thing is it didn't give me shade names. So I did my best interpretation of what the look said, which I will have the look, what chat gave me, right here for you so you can read it along with me. But I have it written down on my notes. So it says to go in with a nude matte as a base color all over the entire lid, which I'm actually about to just hit pan live with you guys. But I'm going to go into the shade right here. As you can see, I just hit pan doing this side, but we're going to expand it. This is the shade Secret, and I'm going to just use that, and we are going to buff it. And see, like, normally, I would just do this in my crease and, like, up above my eyebrow. But they're wanting me to take it all the way across my lid as well, which, gotta say, is a little weird feeling because I don't normally take my mid-toned matte shadows on my lid like this. But, you know, this was one of the looks that we're working with. So I am just going to go over this a couple times, and I'm just flicking it on the outer corner into the shape that I want. So I'm just covering the entire lid, crease all the way up to my brow bone in the shade Secret. So as you can see, as a spoiler, we did hit pan, so that's fantastic. So next it says use a medium toned matte brown shade in the crease and outer corner. So I'm going to go into the shade Teddy, and I'm going to mix in just a tiny bit of raw to make it just a little bit deeper. I'm doing a lot of mixing because honestly it asked for a couple shades that I don't really feel like were in the palette, but you know, we're gonna make it work. So, like I said, it said outer corner, so I'm creating that V shape out here that I personally like. And we're keeping this up in the crease. Next, in the outer corner, we are going to use, it says to use a matte black or dark brown shade along the upper and lower lash lines for definition. As you can see in the palette, there is no matte dark brown or black. So what I did to get the darker outer corner and smoky lash line is I'm going to dip into, bear with me because this is the color we're making. We're going to dip in mostly into raw, a little dab into the shade Tease, and a teeny dab into the shade Love Bite. So I did 4 taps into raw, 1 tap into Tease, and like a half tap into Love Bite. And that's going to get us like the shade a more brown, a darker brown than what is actually in the palette. And I'm just going to do that again. Now, I am bending the rules on this look a little bit. I'm not going completely on my lash line for the upper lid because we are just going to cover it up with liner, because this look does call for a winged liner. Which, you know, it's funny because I used to do winged liner every day. Like, if I was doing makeup, you bet I was doing a wing liner. You couldn't get me to not do wing liner if I was doing makeup. And I, like, don't do it at all anymore. It's just crazy to me. And so now for the lower lash line, I'm just going to use those same colors. I'm just going to go over that one more time. And then for our center lid shade, it says to go in with apply a shimmery champagne or light gold on the center of the lid. So I'm going to go in with this shade here, Crave, and apply that all over the center of the lid. And we have no inner corner shade. So, because we're not doing an inner corner shade, I am just going to take a tiny bit of the shade Bare, because we're not going to see it, just to set my inner corner. Which is so weird for me to not have an inner corner shade. And then it says apply winged liner. So we're going to be doing a wing, and then mascara, which I haven't put mascara on this eye either because we'll get there. But for my wing liner, this is the Ciate London and Vampire Diaries Love Sucks Moon Stamp and Wing Liner. So on the one side is the felt tip liner pen that I'm going to use. And on the other side is a little moon stamp, which I might put on my face just because, like, why not? And I am going to, well, I mean, I guess you guys can sit here and watch me do this. Why not? Personally, I don't love felt tip liners. I much prefer a liquid liner. But it is what it is. And I definitely think, like, even though I store this down, this is a very dry felt tip liner. Like, this definitely does not beat my e.l.f. black liquid liner. Like, it's a very tuggy. And, like, this is the first time I've ever put this liner on my eyes. So you would think that it would be pigmented. But it's not. Like, it's pigmented, but it's not super liquidy. Are they even? Yeah, make them little adjustments. That's why I don't do wing liner anymore. I can't ever get them even. But I do not like this liner. Let's see if the stamp is any good. Let's do a little... I am gonna declutter this because I do not like that liner. But we did a black liner, and we put a little moon stamp, which I don't love either. I'm gonna do my brows really fast, and I'm gonna put on my Give Them La La mascara, pick a lip, and I will be right back to show you the finished look. Alright, so here is the finished look. Okay, if we take away how crappy the liner turned out, like from afar, I like the look. Because like from afar, I can't see how bad the liner was. And I think the look looks nice. I don't like that I have a matte inner corner. I would have added a shimmer, but other than that, those two things. So the bad liner aside and the matte inner corner, I think the look turned out nice. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, you've seen all of the other looks leading up to this point. This will be the final look. I think that overall this was a really fun experiment. I would definitely love to try this with other palettes in the future. Let me know if you would like to see this done with any other palettes. We could definitely do that in the future. This was a very interesting experiment. I thank you again to Monica Adriana for doing this first, because I thought this was just such a cool concept that I had to do it with my pan that palette. And in the process, I hit another pan, so that was awesome. But this was so fun, and I'm really happy with this. So again, thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.